Hi, I'm Satyendra, your IELTS trainer, and today we're gonna talk about multiple choice. This kind of question do come up in reading as well as listening, but today it's a reading module that we are discussing, and hence multiple choice question in reading module. What is this multiple choice and how different they are, or how what kind of structure do they follow in reading is what we're gonna see here. Multiple choice question has one question, or let's say statement, with some options. By some, I mean we don't have a set number here. We can't say, okay, these many options might come up. You might have more than 4, or let's say 5 or 7, and also the answers might increase. Let's see the types first to understand this question type, right? So there are 2 types, okay? But before these 2 types, let me show you what happens. So this is the question, and there's an option here. Let's say 4 options here. So this could be a question or could be a statement. So for example, what was the main reason for them to go to the house? That is a question. But if I want to write a statement, I will eliminate the question and I'll say the boy wanted to go there as. Now this as means I am not finishing the sentence. So please finish the sentence using any of these options. Got it? So sometimes it might be a question or it might be a statement. You have to read it and you have to understand it. Anyway, we'll see examples. So type 1 is when we have 4 options and 1 answer. This is the first type. This is how it looks. This is the first question or statement. In this case, we have a statement. In paragraph 1, the writer suggests that companies could consider this thing. Now here we have 4 options, as I said, 1 statement. This is type 1. Okay. Next one is when we have 4 plus options and 1 plus answer. That means at least 2 answers or more, at least 5 options or more. So it could be 7 options as we can see in this example, and we need 2 answers. Right. Here for this example we have a question. Which 2 advantages are maintained by the writer of the text? Now you have to look for the 2 advantages. Okay, I hope I'm clear about this. What are these options? What are these types? And the tips or the pointers for these kind of questions are similar. There's no much difference. It's just we have more answers to provide. And yes, because you are answering 2 questions at the same time, you'll get 2 points if you get both of them correct. Now, what if I get 1 correct in this case? Then yes, you get 1 point. Right. What if the sequence I write is different? Still it is correct. So for an example, answer is C and E, and I write in exam E and C, then it is still fine. So let's say 21st question is, and 22nd question is also this one, then I can write as C, E or C, or C or E depending on what you find first. So no need to worry about the sequence of the answer if they're asking for 2 or 3 options. And yes, if you mess up with the first answer, let's say instead of E you write B, and next answer you write correctly, you get the score. You get the mark for that one particular answer. Correctly, there's no negative marking in this kind of question. I hope you understand the scoring in MCQs, that is multiple choice questions or multiple choice statements, where we have more than 2 answers and many options, of course, like 5, 7. In this case, we have 7. Now let's see some true examples along with passage. Right. The first type, we'll see the first example. This is the first type, which we said question or statement and 4 options. And on the left, we have passage. Right. I'll give you not more than 1.5 minutes or maximum 2 minutes to solve this kind of question. And your time starts now. All right, we are back, and let's see the solution for this. The solution is the first one, that is A. Now, how did we find this answer? We'll see in later part, but this was the type 1. Now for the type 2, I've also set a question, which do you remember the type 2 now? Type 2 is we have to find more than one answer, that is 1 plus answer, and we have 4 plus options, could be 5 options, 7 options, any number. Okay, in this case we have taken the same question which we have taken earlier. We have a question here and we have to find 2 advantages, right? And we have to find answer for this question by finding 2 of these 7 options. We have 7, right? A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So your time starts again, and this time you'll also get 2 minutes. All right, good luck. Great, we are back. Let's see the answers themselves. Solution for this one is B. They can predict areas that may cause trouble in future. And G. They are more skilled in personal relationships. We can discuss the answers later. If you have any doubt and if you didn't find these questions and these options, let's say, as answers, don't worry. We're gonna discuss pointers or tips. And after listening to the tips, these will be easy to find. These options will be easy to find, and this will be a piece of cake for you. Okay, don't worry about that. If you found, wonderful, that's great already. Now, pointers, as we already discussed, these are the tips. The first one sounds very clear. Question first. Always read the question first. Then move to the passage. Your task is to read the question first. I have seen plenty of people going for the passage first. When you read the passage, it's huge. It takes almost like 1 to 1.5 minutes. And 1 to 1.5 minutes is like time wasted actually. And then you move to the question and then you say, oh, I needed this much information. That's it. I read the whole passage, which is huge, of 200 words maybe. I needed to just read like 50 words based on the question. So please read the question first and then move to the passage. Okay. Now, if you look here, we shouldn't go here first. We should go here first. That is a question 1. In paragraph 1, the writer suggests that the company could consider these. Right. Now, your question, once you read this, then move to the passage. Because the question says clearly, all you have to do is suggest what the companies could consider based on the writer in paragraph 1. That means we don't have to read this much. It's gone, right? This is not required in this question. You have to read the first one. So let's try to find the answer here. The general assumption is that older workers are paid more in spite of rather than because of their productivity. That means older people are paid less, right? Are paid more, right? That might partly explain why when employers are under pressure to cut costs, they persuade a 55-year-old to take early retirement. What did you understand from this? That old people, though they are not that productive, they are costing much to the company. And when it comes to the employer, they try to kick the old people out, honestly, even before their retirement time. Take away seniority-based pay scales, and older workers may become a much more attractive employment proposition. That means if you take out the seniority, that means that is their senior. That's why we have to do something for them as an ethical issue. Otherwise, kicking them out of the company is a good option, right? But most employers and many workers are uncomfortable with the idea of reducing someone's pay in later life. Although manual workers on piece rates often earn less as they get older. Right, that means manual workers are earning less when they get older, right? So retaining the service of older workers may mean employing them in different ways. Now look here, they're trying to say that here earlier, that if we look at the old people, they are not that productive, and employers could consider that if they remove the seniority, that is their seniors, we can't do anything. Removing them could be a good option, or removing the system of paying according to the old age could be a good option. But most employers are not comfortable about that idea of reducing someone's pay, right? So they have to find some other way. But you look at this whole passage, what is it talking about? They're talking about if they can remove the system of people being paid according to their age. And hence the answer A is correct. Abolishing pay schemes that are based on age. Others can be eliminated. We'll see later when we are eliminating. Yeah. So you understand, read the question. Automatically this we don't have to read because we understood only paragraph 1 is required. Okay. Next one is options. So first we already saw questions. Then we move to the passage. What about the options? We didn't look anything about options. Options, please never read them first. Never read the options first. Look here. Let me just remove other things and look at the question very carefully. We have a question here, right? And we have options here. You see which one looks lengthy, the question or the options? Of course, the options. Question is tiny, or the statement is tiny. Options are 4. If you attach all of them one after another, this is like almost 2 to 3 sentences. So anyway, you're not going to remember this, right? Anyway, you're not going to remember all the options. So why to read them first? In fact, read the question. Based on the question, go to the passage. When you come back to the question to answer the question, you can look into the passage now, the options now. It's easy in this time to understand what they mean by this. Rather than you go to the question, read the options, this is like wasting another 30 to 40 seconds, which we don't have in reading. You remember, we have 40 questions in reading and we have 60 minutes in reading. In this time, we have to also transfer the answers to the answer sheet. Now, if we take, let's say, 5 minutes to transfer to the answer sheet, we are left with 55 minutes. Let's eliminate 2 minutes of somewhere resting in between because you're concentrating a lot. 53 minutes. 53 minutes and 40 questions. It's not more than 1.5 minutes. Or let's say 1 minute per question. And if you're wasting in reading options 30 seconds or 20 seconds, it's scary now to find the answer. You don't have much time. That's why some people who are not taking precautions like this, they are ending up having 7 questions left in the end. So I suggest never read the options first. Okay, I told you the reason, I showed you the consequences. Good. Next one, as I said, first we understood the options. Now we can eliminate when we come back. The obvious options can be eliminated. Eliminated means removed from our answer, obvious answers or the possible answers. Look here, we have a question here and we have options here. Avoiding, we already know A is the answer, but look how other options can be removed. We already discussed what is the passage about. Avoiding pay that is based on piece rates. We are not talking about avoiding pay based on piece rates. Piece rates came, the word piece rate came just here to talk about something else. We are not here working on avoiding that one. Eliminated. Increasing pay for older workers. No, we never worked on increasing pay. In fact, it was decreasing, right? Sometime. Equipping older workers with new skills. We are not equipping them. We are not providing them new skills. We are looking at them in a different way. That means we are employing them. We are looking at them in a different way because we don't want the seniority to work. We just want performance-based work. We are trying to remove that part of pay based on age. You see how elimination can help you find the real answer. Yes? Good. Now, last one is paraphrasing. See, you should expect a lot of paraphrasing in options. What is the meaning of paraphrasing? You won't find exactly the same words in your passage. So once you read the whole passage and you connect with the options, chances are you might not find the exact wordings. Of course, you have to understand that. What are they talking about? And that's where your information concising power comes in. Same goes for question. Of course, they're not going to provide you exact words of the question in the passage. You have to paraphrase it or understand it the concise way. You got my thing. I mean, you get what I mean by concising or paraphrasing is that don't expect them to provide exact information in the passage. Okay, good. And I think that's the end of the chapter. We understood it, how pointers can help, what kind of example you get in multiple choice questions, and it could be a question or a statement, but we have options in them which also create troubles if you read them, because you shouldn't read them first. So always question first, never read the options. But first you go to the passage, find the answer, then connect with the options, eliminate the obvious ones to reduce time taken for the question, and expect paraphrase. These are the few basic or the most important tips to solve the question called multiple choice. If you understood it, well and good. If you didn't, please come back to me using a mail ID or you can write in the comments. For now, I wish you a great time.